Good morning. Thank you for joining us for the International Space Station update for Monday, December 27th. We're live from the Mission Control Center located at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas. This is actually in the traditionally the room that's been used as the shuttle flight control room. The International Space Station control team operating out of here temporarily while some renovations are occurring in the other flight room. The Orbit 2 team is on duty in the early part of their shift, monitoring the vehicle systems and supporting the on-orbit crew as they're working through their early afternoon activities. This is a look at the view of the room as about 20 different console positions supporting the systems and monitoring the vehicle, everything going well. The team is being led by Flight Director Scott Stover, who is shown here standing, speaking with one of the ground controllers. He's also being supported by Rob Hayhurst, who represents the crew office and serving as the Capcom or spacecraft communicator for this Orbit 2 team. After a light-duty weekend, the Expedition 26 crew is back to work this morning. They've just wrapped up their lunch break an hour or so ago and now in the early afternoon of their crew day. Their afternoon is primarily focused on science and medical tasks. Commander Scott Kelly has just completed about a 2-hour session installing the capillary channel flow hardware into the microscience glove box, connecting cables and configuring a video system for that work. The capillary channel flow, or CCF as it's called, is an experiment for studying a variety of inertial capillary-dominated flows, key to spacecraft systems that cannot be studied on the ground. The results from that study will help applications in containment, storage, and handling of large liquid inventories aboard spacecraft. He's now helping his cosmonaut counterparts with some of their work. Their afternoon includes some continued time unloading and packing the Progress cargo craft. The crew will also perform routine on-orbit hearing assessments, as well as checkouts of the crew medical restraint hardware and the respiratory support pack. Newly arrived crew members, NASA astronaut Katie Coleman, European Space Agency astronaut Paulo Nespoli, and Dmitry Kondratiev will also continue with space station familiarization. The crew will wrap up their afternoon with private medical conferences, which are routine activity, and also their exercise sessions. They'll also have a session of the ocean observations, taking photographs of the ocean surface as the space station continues to orbit the Earth. This is a live view from the International Space Station looking back down at the Earth as the vehicle is just crossing over the Southern Pacific Ocean. The crew woke up at midnight Central Time and had a bit of personal and off-duty time. They have a routine morning inspection right after wake up and then some experiment sample collections. They then had their morning daily planning conference with the ground teams around the globe, where there are control centers all supporting the on-orbit activities. The morning tasks included some science work, including the pneumocard experiment, which studies blood circulation in long-duration crew members. They also had a number of Russian public affairs or media events, as they were, and also the setup for the capillary channel flow work, which was conducted by Scott Kelly. The morning also included a periodic fitness evaluation, which is conducted monthly. This session was done using the CVIS, or the onboard cycle ergometer. They also conducted a battery changeout for the compound-specific analyzer, which measures combustion products in the atmosphere. Again, that look at the crew activities for the day. The crew, again, in the early afternoon of their crew day, they're scheduled to continue their work for the next several hours with their end-of-day daily planning conference at 1 p.m. Central Time, off-duty time at 1:30 p.m. Central Time, and crew sleep planned for 3:30 p.m. It was a light-duty weekend for the crew, but they've again resume their activities. They did wrap up last week with some work on the Dexter, or the Canadian Space Agency robot that is mounted on the exterior of the space station. We have some video of that work as Dexter successfully passed its final exam last week and now is officially certified for duty aboard the International Space Station. While at the end of the robotic arm, the Dexter performed a series of steps to remove a 974-pound storage box known as a cargo transport carrier along the exterior of the station. That test not only served as a good checkout for Dexter, but also as a dress rehearsal for Dexter's first official task when it will unload an external pallet from Japan's HTV-2 spacecraft in early February 2011.